Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Dragalia Lost, and today I'm going to be reviewing Valentines Hildegarde. She's our third fire staff unit. We have Orion, who sucks really bad, Verica, who's one of the best healers in the game, and now Valentines Hildegarde. I'm going to be comparing her to Verica and the light version of Hildegarde a couple times in this review, but for now, let's take a look at her entire kit first. So at max level, she's going to have 805 HP, which is the 6th highest in the game. 805 HP is pretty good. High HP is always great on healers since recovery potency scales the most off of the HP stat. Her strength maxes at 469, which ranks her 30th. Not too big of a deal since she is just a staff unit. Her first attack is Blooming Love. It restores HP to all allies, increases the team's energy levels by 1 stage, and then applies regen for 15 seconds. The healing part of this effect is exactly the same as Verica's. They both heal for 44% recovery potency and then regens for 35%. Therefore, they both will heal just about the same in terms of their skill 1s, although Hildegarde will heal slightly more due to her having better stats. The difference between the two heals, of course, is that Hildegarde's increases the team's energy level by 1, while Verica's removes stun. Now, if you guys don't know what energy does, basically energy is a buff which upgrades skills once the unit has accumulated 5 energy levels. Once the unit has accumulated 5 energy levels, they become energized, and the next skill they use will deal 50% more skill damage, or if they are using a healing skill, then it will have 50% more recovery potency. Energy also applies to skills on weapons as well, so if she's equipped with a 3-star staff, then she'll deal more damage with Flame Circle, or if she has a 4-star fire staff, then she can give a big burst of heal to the ally who has taken the most damage. The 5-star fire staff has a recovery potency buff as its skill, so energy won't work with that specific skill. However, you can combine energy with the recovering potency buff from her 5-star weapon to increase Blooming Love's healing effect by a total of 70%. So yeah, she has quite a lot of flexibility in her weapon choices, but back to her skill. Blooming Love is an alright healing skill. Like I said, it heals the same as Verica's skill 1. The big thing to note is that Blooming Love costs 7,734 SP, which is about 1,800 SP more than Verica's skill 1. 1,800 SP is about equivalent to 3.5 staff combos, which is about 18 attacks. Basically, in the long run, Hildegarde restores less than Verica, but because Hildegarde grants energy, she's going to help the team output more damage. Her second skill is Holy Protection. It's basically the same as the original Hildegarde skill 2, except that it trades health regen for a 2-charge energy buff, therefore less heals, but more team damage in the long run. Most of you guys are probably wondering if this shield is any good for high Midgard trials. Let me just say that it's really difficult for her shield to have any use in high Midgard trials currently. It's gonna take a lot of investment. The HP threshold on Holy Protection is based on Hildegarde's health, therefore she's gonna need a lot of HP for her shield to block any of high Midgard's big damage attacks for her and her teammates. She needs about 2.8k to 2.9k health. If you can get her health to that point, then her shield will become more useful in that fight. Otherwise, the only attacks the shield will block in that fight are the dashes and the claw swipes. Like I said, it's difficult for her to reach enough health in order for her shield to block high Midgard's big damage stacks right now, but this skill will become more useful as time goes on. Any 5-star fire HP dragon or fire facilities that get released in the future will greatly help. Now let's move on to her abilities. The first one she has is Striking Strength Debilitator. This is something new. It grants the user's force strikes a 70% chance to reduce enemy strength by 3% for 10 seconds. I don't really think this ability is all that great. 3% isn't that much, plus Hildegarde shouldn't be force striking unless the enemy is in overdrive. She needs to focus on doing normal attacks to build up her SP. Her skills cost a lot of SP compared to other healers, so she can't really afford to force strike outside of the enemy's overdrive. Second ability is Stun Res 100%. It's nice to have for high Midgard obviously, even though it's hard for ranged units to get hit by any of high Midgard's stun attacks, but in the case that she does get hit by any stun attacks, then it's there as insurance. Her third ability is Skill Prep. Thank God she has this because her SP costs are hella high, so with Skill Prep 100%, she's gonna start off the match with both her skills all charged up. This means that she can grant 3 energy levels right off the bat by using both her skills. Overall, I do think Hildegarde is a good unit and a great healer. However, I only think she's better than Verica if she is heavily invested. She needs a lot of health in order for her shields to have any great use for the endgame bosses. If you are a player that is just now getting ready for high Midgard trials and are deciding between Verica or Hildegarde, I would recommend going with Verica because she's going to be the easier unit to use, plus she won't require as much investment. As for dragon recommendations for her, she's going to want any dragon that grants HP. Currently there's not many for the fire element. There's only Phoenix, which would be the best for her at the moment, and then there's also High Brunhilde, who grants split HP and strength. As for worm prints, anything that gives recovery potency works. There's a bunch of those prints, so I'll just show some of them on the screen for you guys. Jewels of the Sun might not be that bad either. It has skill haste and HP 7% equals strength 8%. Skill haste helps her gain SP faster, which means she can energize her team more often. And because she's a range healer, it's not hard for her to keep her health above 70%, so the strength buff will almost always be active. The Petal Queen print is situational. It energizes the user at the start of the quest. It's only really useful if you're using Hildegarde on a boss where the boss inflicts an unavoidable attack in the beginning that deals huge damage. In those cases, you can use the 5 energy stacks on her skill 1 for an upgraded heal in the beginning of the fight. And that's going to be it for Valentines Hildegarde. Like I said, she's a good unit, but because Verica exists, there's really no reason to summon for Hildegarde at the moment if you own Verica already. If you like Hildegarde as a character, then I guess you can go ahead and summon for her because she is limited, but other than that, I would recommend skipping. If you did summon on this banner, let me know who you got in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.